Well, hello there. How is everyone, you beautiful, beautiful, amazing, wonderful people? Yes, this is video 3 of 3. Have you seen the others? If not, go check them out. Not now, because you're here with me right now. So we're going to have this chat. So we're getting straight into the meat and potatoes. Is look, Warren's, what I am going to say, first of all, this video is going to piss some people off. I get it. I understand it. I've done a community post that was talking about it. And look, I mean this from the absolute bottom of my heart. And you know me, guys. When I say something, I'm being truthful. And that is, I genuinely couldn't give a flying fuck whether you're happy or not. It is how it is. I'm always going to be honest with you. I'm not going to put on some persona to please people on YouTube. But look, that being said, we've got to speak about Warren Slater, Jay Slater's dad. He's released another video and he's entitled it, Do the Hills Have Eyes? Do the Hills Rarely Have Eyes? And he is filming the mountains and he's talking about the fact that he feels potentially that he's being watched from the mountains and he can hear dogs and stuff like that. And look, a lot of people I see commenting, jumping on and talking about it. And look, what I'm going to say is, and this is the bit that's going to split the fucking room, and that is Jay Slater has lost his son. He has lost his son, right? And what we find in these cases is, regardless of anything, families very seldom want to accept that it's over because it's kind of a finality to it that they don't want. Do you know what I mean? Some people, they need to hold on to something. They need to hold on to, and I'm not saying that's what Warren's doing, because ultimately what we're seeing in this case is there is a genuine reason for questions. There's a lot of things that don't really make sense. There's a lot of people who is around Jay who have questionable pasts, the story that we're being fed, and look, I'm not going to bore you with all that. We've done it to death. We've done it to absolute death. Look, I just don't believe it. I don't believe the story. We're going to have the inquest in the UK. I would imagine that that's just going to be some sort of tick box exercise. The person who's in charge of doing that is the same person who was involved in the Nicola Bulley situation, and we know how that ended up. Irrelevant of how you feel about it, I always are of the mindset that I struggled with Nicola Bulley to just conclude that she fell in. But look, I'm not beyond the realms of it could happen. It could happen. I struggle with it. I struggle to see how a clever compos mentis person could just fall in a fucking river while she's walking the dog or whatever, and somewhere where she frequents all the time, and just. But anyway, that's by the by. But with respect to the Jay Slater case, look, I can't see anything in that video. I can't see anything at all. I can't point. I can't comment about it. I can't make anything from it. I can't extrapolate upon it, apart from extrapolate upon the feelings that Warren Slater is having. And that is that he is a father. And that is a heartbreaking video, in the sense that in this video, he is literally calling out for his son, unbeknownst to him, that sadly his son's no longer with us for whatever reason. But the reality is I don't see that we're going to be able to do anything about it. You know, we can pull everything to pieces every single day. We can be upset about it. We can feel that there is an injustice being done. And look, I haven't been paid off. No one's going to fucking pay me off, because I see it. You know, I see some people who have stepped away from doing the stories and talking about it, and I see the comments attacking people who have, and like even attacking bits and bobs. So I tell you what, the best thing that could happen to the Jay Slater case is bits and bobs fuck off out of it, because when was the last time that he said anything that weren't either copied off someone else or completely non-credible? I don't get it. But anyway, look, someone did point out to me earlier, I'd spoken about the massacre walk, and someone said that I had mistakenly stated that was referencing where Jay Slater went missing, as opposed to another ravine that is not where Jay Slater was. And do you know what? If that's the case, then that's the case. But my point still stands. My point does still stand, because we know that this specific area where Jay went missing is somewhere that is frequented heavily by people who hike around this area. You only have to go on to the likes of TripAdvisor and find the many people who visit this area. I literally covered it a few days ago about there's so many people who go there. Sometimes the bus can't even cater for that many people that are there in this area. So look, I get it. That may have been a different spot, a different part of the ravine. It's horses for courses. But with respect to the Jay Slater case and Warren, I feel that Warren is likely to be in this position for a long time, where he's going to be seeking answers. He knows his son. He feels that there is potentially answers that are out there that he hasn't got. He's not buying, or he didn't at the time of filming this, by the narrative that Jay Slater just walked off on his own and shit Carter off a cliff. I don't feel. But equally, Warren is in a position where he is putting stuff out himself on social media. He's going out and he's interacting with the community in a way that is being quite suggestive. Look, I'm putting this stuff out, but he hasn't contacted me. I'm pretty sure that he hasn't contacted Wax. I'm pretty sure he hasn't contacted that other person who does the Jay Slater content. And look, if he really wanted, like some people are, why don't you reach out and speak to Warren? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you get him to do a Q&A? If Warren wanted to speak to us, he'd fucking reach out and speak to us, wouldn't he? I do videos every single day, and every single video has got an email address in the description of the video. But what I won't do is just keep recycling the same crap over and over and over again. Just to make it clear one last time, I do not believe the story that we've been fed. Do I feel that there's a potential that it could be happening that way? Yeah, it could have, but I don't think it did. And I think the people around him, in some way, shape or form, either let him down massively, in a sense that they could have saved his life simply by, if the story is true up to the point where he's left the Airbnb, if he ever got there, if he left there, they could have simply said, stay put, we know where you are, we've got you pinned on the map, fucking stay there, Jay, we'll come to you now. That would have put all this to bed if that was the proper story. But because that didn't happen, and it didn't happen that way, I've got two thoughts about it, and that is that these people are either that fucking stupid and thick that they can't see that they could have saved his life, or they genuinely couldn't save his life because he was already deceased at that point. And that's just my take on it. That's how I feel about it. So I'm not being bought off. I'm not a sellout or anything like that. If there is new things that come out about the Jay Slater case, 100% new, they need to be discussed, then I will, of course, come back and speak about this case. If there is a piece of information that comes out and it's so detrimental to the direction of the Jay Slater situation, like the recent video, the Dan O'Keefe video, then I will talk about it. But I'm not going to just keep rinsing, repeating the same shit day in, day out, because some people just want to talk about the case every day. I'm not forgetting about the case. I'm not walking away from the case, in a sense that I absolutely feel that there is information that is missing somewhere, but the reality is we can't do anything about it. If you feel there is something that we can do about it to change the direction of how this case is right now, then let me know. And if there is somebody out there who feel that they can make a difference, then again, reach out and have a chat about it. But watching that video of Warren Slater today, and watching him looking up and just shouting Jay across there, and then thinking that he can see things in the mountains and whether people are watching him, and this is just indicative of someone who is as hell-bent on getting answers as what we are. But how far do people want to look for answers? If Jay Slater's dad was that close to the people who could have potentially done what happened to Jay, whatever people think, then why would he be seeking things and faces in the mountains? I don't get it, bless him. I feel sorry for him. I feel his pain. And I feel now that this could just, what we're doing could be making it worse. Could literally be making it worse. We're just forming this perpetual wheel of Jay Slater content every single fucking day that is just talking about the same stuff and getting nowhere. It is what it is. It is what it is. If things change, then we'll talk about it. But until next time, I'll see you all tomorrow.